So after a long period of lockdown, June the 16th finally come around. Plenty of prep was done, getting the baits ready, and it was time to load the car and make our way to the river. Cold, damp, dull morning, driving down the A49 down to Shrewsbury in the hope of finding a barbel. Hello and welcome to this week's angling vlog. Today you join me on the banks of the River Severn. It's the glorious 16th and we're out hoping for a barbel. It's a grey, overcast, damp day, and as you've seen on the opening intro, we've had a bit of rain on the way down and overnight, and to be honest with you, I'd take these conditions over the bright, clear, sunny days that we have been having. The river is low and clear, but it has got a tinge to it which is giving me a bit of hope. So the first thing I did when I arrived in the swim was put down a bed of hemp, just a few catapults on the downstream rod and one right across down the middle, just hoping to begin to attract a few fish into the area. The rod's in, it's time to sit back and hope. And then rings that you can just see bouncing off the bank are from one very active pike. He's been striking the whole morning since I've been here. You can feel the silvers disappear and then they start topping, and it builds and it builds, and then out the water he comes crashing. It is beautiful just to be sat on the banks of the river again, you know, quiet, peaceful. You can just hear the birds singing, and there's something special about rivers. If you don't fish them, then you should, because they are magical places to be. So we're about 2 hours in, and as so often is with the June the 16th, it's a bit anticlimactic at times. A big build up and then you cast in full of expectation and nothing happens. And that's just how it can be. But for me today, it's just good to be back bankside, and for so many people I imagine the rivers will be a place they'll find solitude. Lockdown has been tough for so many people. It's not easy to be locked indoors and told that you can't go out, and I personally have been struggling mentally with it, and I'm not ashamed to say that on camera. It's been tough to go out the house, to go fishing just lately. You know, these opportunistic sessions that I have been doing, apart from that 48-hour session, haven't felt right. You know, sanitising gates to go through them and avoiding people. You know, people come up to speak to you on the bank and you don't want to get too close, and it doesn't feel right. And I guess when the government said before this that life will be different after it, they most certainly wasn't lying. And I do think it is important that we do capture what lockdown fishing is like. And for me, I can't wait for it to be over. I can't wait to get back out on the bank, having a laugh with my uncle, you know, talking in the week about where we're going to go fishing, and getting back out on the bank and enjoying the sport together. We've fished together every week for 10 years, and him not being on the bank is a huge part of my fishing missing. Hopefully this virus will be gone soon and we can get back to some type of normality. At least somebody's getting a bite. It's Mr. Pike again. The fish had just moved into the slack, and you can just tell it was building to a strike. So there's not much happening on these rods. So let's take a look at a few sessions that I've done with my little lad, where we've been going out hunting for those carp. I hope you enjoy this little bit of the vlog, because he is really enjoying his fishing. go, the first fish of the session. Didn't take too long, just a handful of the beaten iron boilies and that bottom bait with the pop up on top. A nice battle, bit of good netting from my little man, and we'll get him straight back because it is a warm day. Well, it's not quite Mr. Barbel, but as ever, a greedy little chub and the first fish of the season. So we'll change the location for the afternoon, and when I do get asked about, you know, tips on fishing, I do say go with your gut instinct, trust your feeling, and it didn't feel right. There was no taps on the rod tip. We had that one chublet that came out of the blue. That was quite deep in a slow moving bit of river. So we've come to a section now that's shallower, a lot more streamer weed and gravelly. So hopefully we can pick up a barbel. So yesterday was a bit of a disaster. Not long after I filmed the shot of me saying that a change can make a difference, the heavens opened and it was time to beat a hasty retreat. Back out today, we've had rain overnight, first trot, and we've just hooked in to the first chub of the day. Only going to be a short session today, but hopefully we can pick up one or two. And like I said yesterday, a bit of a disaster, and it just shows, you know, you can build up to the 16th and it can be a bit of an anticlimax. The first trot today and this lovely little chub, immaculate condition. Let's get it straight back and see if we can pick up another one. So as you can see, the river's already got a bit of colour in it. There's bits of debris coming down, and I talk on the blog about windows of opportunity, and today it's a fine one. Any rain upstream, it's not going to take much for this to be unfishable. So how long we've got is anyone's guess. If we get no rain upstream, you could get a full day out of it because it'll continue to clear. If we don't, it could be a very short session. And the amazing thing about this river, in winter you don't see any silvers, it's just chub and the odd trout. Come back in summer and it's alive with all species. And what I always love about coming back to the river is how different they are than when you left them. When you leave them, the banks are normally brown with floodwater, but when you come back, everything is green and vibrant. Proper chub like before, and then you're getting ones like that, it's a great sign for your river. It means one thing, it's got a future. Third chub of the day. We've had one or two little small days and a small chublet, but as I said, great to be back on the river, on flowing water, fishing the stick float and getting a few bites. It sure beats the day yesterday, sat on the River Severn, looking at rod tips that weren't moving. And realistically, I probably should have come chub fishing yesterday and got a longer session out of it. So set up for the session, my 12 to 14 foot Corum glide. I've teamed that up with a Corum axis reel, that's down to a 10 number 4 stick float, a bulk shot of Dinsmore number 4 shots to hold the bait down, and we'll be fishing maggot on the hook. And although a bit of a pain when you're chub fishing, you can't beat them for the colours. Look how beautiful of a fish that is. So with the banks of the River Severn and the River Trent lined with anglers, Isn't it amazing with fishing how you can find solace and as much enjoyment on a river that you could nearly jump across? And granted, today we won't be seeing any 16-pound barbel on today's vlog, but sometimes fishing isn't about that. Sometimes the size of the fish is irrelevant. In a short time that I've been here, as you can see, the river's lost a bit of pace and a bit of colour. The sun high in the sky, blue skies, is equally as bad for the fishing as if it was rising. So what we'll do is we'll take a look at the final net and see how we've done in this short morning session. And there we go, a few bars of glorious bronze to start the season. Angling has seen a surge in popularity since lockdown. Let's make sure we leave them banks exactly how we left them. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all next week.